We're here at Coast to Coast Sports at Vincent Massey Collegiate to make an announcement that's something that's very near and dear to both of our hearts. I'm Trevor Greer and this is Vin Robinson, and we are here to announce the return of the Fort Garry Invitational Basketball Tournament. Now, what makes this such a significant announcement?
Well, Trevor, both you and I are alumni from Vincent Massey. And I think what makes it such a terrific announcement is that Coast to Coast Sports is dedicated to see the resurrection of this tournament. It started this weekend, this long weekend. You actually saw with the Midwest Sport Showcase that we were putting our stamp on sport in this province. And it's just an indication of what's to come for the future.
And I know the initial Fort Garry Invitational started in 1960 with the opening of Vincent Massey Collegiate. So even though there has been a break of a number of years between editions of the tournament, this is a tournament with an illustrious history. And it must be really exciting to get it going again and rewrite some history as time goes on now.
Yeah, I think that it is, but there are people in the world that are history buffs, and they want to appreciate where we were in order to know where we're going. And then there's the changing of the guard, which is the new position that wants to put their own stamp on things and see things go in a different direction. My opinion of what the Fort Garry Invitational Tournament is going to be is maybe something a little bit different. The invitational aspect of it might be one player invite, so that we're making kind of like an all-Canadian aspect of what this game would look like versus numerous teams from all across the country that are coming in to compete. So the position's a little bit different, but with recouping after COVID, it makes sense for the positioning.
Yes. Also, I do remember teams that came in from as far away as BC, some teams that came in from the States. There are girls teams, there are boys teams. Is that the vision now as well?
Yeah, that's still the vision. Through our partnership with Scotiabank and Herzing, we do want to focus on the point of inclusion, where we're not turning our backs on any gender. We are really gender neutral. We'll find a place for people to land and being able to play, and that's the focus. If you could ball, if you're cream of the crop, it's time to get ranked. Welcome back to our show. We are now at a different arena that was suggested to us that we take a look at in order to revive and bring the sport of basketball and volleyball to professionalism. Last week we were in Fort Rouge. Today we are in Grant Park. Once again, another great area that's dense, well-maintained, and long-standing in our community. So, Charles A. Barber Arena, this is where we are. Now, one thing that I have to say is when you own property, without a doubt, something that always tends to occur is that you have to have ongoing maintenance in order to keep it up and running and to make it look good. Perhaps throughout a partnership or unloading one of these venues, it could make that occur and keep our community bright, clean, and even attract more people into the venue for a different platform of sport. You're going to come along for a walk with me so that we could point out a few things that would be required in order to bring our community up to snuff and make it a better place to live for all of our kids, all of our children, all of our families, aunts, uncles, everybody to participate in. So follow me, come along for the walk. So here we are. Like we said, we're not here to bash the city or bash anybody. We think that you guys do a terrific job. I actually take my hat off to you. It's not easy to balance and maintain all of this. But what we notice here in the summer as we walk around is some uncut lawn that's taking place, for example. When we go back to the back side of the venue, we'll also notice that there's things back here such as garbage that compiles that would need to be cleaned up. Terrific arena. You look around here, we've got Grant Park School, we've got Grant Park Mall, we've got all of this here. We do have city workers that were out today, but it's difficult to say exactly what was taking place when we look at this arena. So unfortunately, because it's summertime, we're not able to access the inside of the arena, so we're just going to do a quick walk around the outside and take a look at the things that we do notice over here that seems to be a bit of an eyesore. So like anything, garbage needs to be collected on an ongoing basis. It's a little bit of a small garbage can here, and we're not sure if this belongs to the city or the school, but nevertheless, it needs to be cleaned up. Now, timing might have been great because we did talk about the grass. And it sounds like somebody's back here diligently at work cutting the lawn. So once again, taking my hat off to the city of Winnipeg for making sure that our soccer fields, our track fields, our parks are accessible and good for people to play on. But where things become a little bit of an eyesore might be something like this. You know, this building obviously has been tagged. Graffiti needs to be cleaned up. It's an eyesore to the community. Now, I'm a big fan of graffiti. I mean, I grew up with it. I'm part of the hip-hop culture. But with that being said, there's a time and a place for everything. So having a beautiful mural maybe on the side of the building that represents our community, our beautiful mosaic, and the sports that we have might be a better indication than tagging the back of the building. And I'll just give you a quick example about the difference of really cool graffiti, which in my opinion is this piece right here, which I really do like. And it's all kind of tying into our theme about art today. But then there's pieces that lack, and it just looks like it's tagged and something that could cause problems. So with that being said, we think that this might be a terrific venue, a terrific fit. It's on a highly populated, recognizable intersection. Our next stop that we'll be taking will be at another arena that's a little bit hidden, not as out in the community as we would like it to be. So quite frankly, from my perspective, not an option, but the first two locations and arenas that we looked at, potentially so. So we'll be right back. Welcome everyone, it's Vin Robinson here today at Rocky's Hairstyling on Pembina Highway. We came into a gem of a place. It looks terrific in here. We were coming in here, knocking on door to door, looking for support for the return of the Fort Garry Invitational Tournament. And Rocky, being one of the proud people to participate, thank you so much, Rocky, for your participation and support of the tournament's return. Let's get some footage here and see exactly what Rocky's up to here with this fine gentleman here.
The fine gentleman.
He's doing a good job. Looks clean. How do you think the service is going today for you, sir?
Oh, it's excellent. I've been coming here for 50 years.
50 years, wow. That's amazing. So you see a lot.
Right? Is that about right, Rocky? About 50
Yeah,
years?
45, 47, yeah, 45.
That's how long you two have known each other?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Amazing. And yeah, when you're looking kind of around the walls and stuff like that, you see an old article right up here at the Winnipeg Free Press. This is kind of cool too here, solid as a rocko. So that's what we're finding here is Winnipeg Gems in Fort Garry. Oddly enough, go ahead.
3 generations, 4 generations.
4 generations.
There's a picture there.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see right here. This is ever cool. So this is amazing. This is the reason why we're trying to build up Fort Garry. It's one of the only business zones in Winnipeg that doesn't have a business zone attached to it. So we're out here lobbying, knocking door to door for the return of the tournament. We're finding terrific business owners such as Rocky here. Once again, thanks for the support, and continue to follow us on Coast to Coast Sports.
I founded the first barbershop at Pembina University Crescent, 1966. So I've been at Fort Garry and at Fort Rouge since I'm 66.
Wow.
And I worked 3 years across the street too from Vincent Mass School.
There you go. So
There's a history there.
Yeah, there's a history there because you're Italian.
Yes.
Okay, so Morganti family.
Of course, I know.
Okay, so a lot of I went to Vincent Massey, I went to Fort Richmond, I went to Arthur Leach. So a lot of the Italians from that area are very close friends with all of them. And, yeah, terrific history. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm happy to have met you today. Thank you very much for your support. Welcome back, everyone. Vin Robinson here again. You know, we're here knocking at doors, we're smiling and dialing, we're shaking hands, kissing babies, and we came across another gem here today. We're here with Mona. Mona, tell us a little bit about your restaurant. I mean, you had a very unique story affected by COVID, so talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, so hi. My name is Mona, owner of Nexus Stop Cafe. So the story of Nexus Stop is we got this store on December 2019, and we started doing renovation and decoration, be ready for opening day, which was the March 17, 2020. Exact day they said our restaurant must be closed down in Winnipeg. So our opening day was the same day as closing day, so we never opened that day.
Yeah, that must have been very difficult on you. And you weathered the storm, right? I mean, you made it through okay?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me a little bit about, you were still doing takeout, which was good for you?
Yes, so we didn't open that day even for takeout because we just thinking when you are new, no one knows you, right? So who gonna order to us? So we just waiting for another news to be open for dine-in, and which was June 5th. So on 2020 they said June 5th the restaurant can be open for patios, and then we opened the patio for that time. We was open for 2 weeks, and then dining was open too. Yes. But it was social distancing, right? So half a capacity for that day. Open for 2 months, full capacity for 2 months, and then closed down.
Closed down again. Yeah.
Just for takeout.
Yeah. And now, today, we have a little bit of a better day. We're in the endemic now, right? We get to start back up, and people get to try some of your terrific food and things that you have on the menu. Welcome back after that commercial break, everybody. We're here with another long-standing business in the Fort Garry business sector. We're here with Walter. Walter is the owner of Life Sport. Walter, thanks for being here with us today.
You're very welcome.
Now, we stumbled across Walter because Walter was kind enough to give us his support for the return of the Fort Garry Invitational Tournament. Walter, you've been here for what, about 48 years or so?
That's right.
Yeah, so Walter knows exactly about the tournament. We were having a chat with Walter a little bit about how the industry has changed over the years. Give us your perspective on that.
Well, it's evolved. People are buying a wider array of bikes. There is a demand for electric assisted bikes, as an example, that wasn't on the radar 5 years ago.
Right.
And that has helped in promoting cycling, because people who have some difficulties in mobility can still ride a bike and just turn the shifter to get some power.
Right. Now, let's talk about some things that we're all familiar with, which was COVID. Some businesses struggled during COVID, some did very well.
Right.
Talk to us a little bit about your experience with the pandemic.
Right. Well, our position was that because COVID made participation in sports very restrictive, you could still ride a bicycle and be within a healthy, it was healthy for you, so you could do it. So consequently, both for us and other bicycle dealers, it was quite frankly a benefit rather than a detriment. One of the major problems, however, is that on a world scale, the demand has been so much for bicycles and aftermarket parts that the manufacturers have not had a chance to keep up with that demand, and shipping problems have also occurred that have contributed to a very limited availability of product.
So are you seeing a lot of older bikes that are coming in for repair that might have been sitting around?
No, it's been like that for a while though.
Yeah.
That's constant. Yeah.
That's constant.
Yeah.
Now, what are you telling your customers for when this supply and demand might be caught up?
I'm telling them what we're being told, and no one really knows. But it is an issue in every aspect of cycling.
So if people want to find you, where could they locate you? Pembina Highway, give them a landmark or a nice place.
Well, just a few blocks south of Confusion Corner.
Yeah, okay.
And as I said, we've been here for the equivalent of forever. So
Great. So it's terrific. It's a terrific shop. Everything looks great here. We want people to get out, get active, and get involved. We're now in the endemic, and a cycling shop is a great place to make that happen. Walter, thanks for taking the time.
you're very welcome.
And
Pleasure.
come and check Walter out here at the cycling shop. Good day, everyone. It's Vin Robinson here. We're coming back with a great episode today. We're here talking about Renaissance. It's a great time to be in the Renaissance mode. We're talking about everything from books and reading and art and all the great things that make up the Renaissance era. That's what brought us here today, to talk with Jeff. Jeff is the proud owner of Fleet Galleries that can be found down in the Exchange. Jeff, thanks for taking the time to meet us with us here today.
Hey, I'm happy to talk about things, how they work and how they do. And the main part of my business is picture framing, but secondary is the art sales and so on. This is my son, Brian Cascicosa.
Right. Hey, Brian, how you doing?
He's the guy that did some of these paintings here.
Okay. All right. And we'll take the opportunity to go through some of these paintings. So why don't we kind of start down here at the end? It's my understanding that there's a show that's going to be coming up. It's starting relatively soon.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about some of these pieces that you see here on the wall. So as you had mentioned, your son is the one that painted it. He's
He
going to be
painted this, Betty Boop, and some of the other ones.
Okay.
He's been painting from the time he was 10 years old, self-taught. No doubt about it, he's one of the best artists in the city with murals and all kinds of stuff like that. So he keeps busy.
I see. Now, he's traveled the world, so that gives him an opportunity to see a few different things as well.
Yeah.
As an artist, you want to be able to put your expression into your paintings.
Yes.
So for some of the people out there that aren't sure about what art is supposed to do for you, a bit of a crash course. Art is about the way that it makes you feel. Is it not, right? Your interpretation about art, and when we both look at a piece together, you might feel different about that piece. So it's not so much about you got to feel this way when you see my piece. It's really about the interpretation that you feel when you look at it. Correct?
It's important when a person goes into a gallery and they see the art and they like what's on the wall. It's important that they take a good look and think about it quick, because a lot of times people are interested in the art, and so they leave, they come back, and it's sold. They come back and it's sold. Right. So that happens a lot.
Yeah. So don't necessarily procrastinate and stare at it too long. You might want to jump on the piece.
Yes.
Right? Now, one of the great things here is that when you do have your open houses for your gallery, you have some wine and cheese that people can come down and rub some elbows, be connoisseurs, look at the piece, which is another great reason to come down and see the mayor of Albert Street.
Correct.
Great. Let's continue to take a walk through here. Now, you alluded to a little bit about the fact that you do some framing, but you also do picture hanging as well, right? So if people were to call you, it's not just a one-stop shop where you frame your piece. You can actually come out and give somebody some assistance to make sure that that piece is hung right at their property, correct?
Yeah, quite often, well, even sometimes it's an older couple and they can't really do the heavy lifting of the pieces to hang on the wall, so we'll go there and we'll tell them the proper location to hang and how high and so on, and we'll do the job for them to make sure.
Now, you've been a staple of Albert Street for quite some time, is that correct? How many years have you been here?
On Albert Street since 1983.
Wow.
And before that, my father had a shop on Main Street called European Picture Frame Shop. He started it in 1967. He thought he was going to retire in 1980. And then I talked him back into getting into business, and the name Fleet Galleries became available. And Fleet Galleries had a great name in the city for selling art.
I see.
So we thought we'd jump on it, and it's one of the best names in the city for framing and for artwork.
So you jumped on the wave, you rode the wave, the crescendo's here, and you're still going, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a family business. It was Dad, you,
my son.
Wow, amazing.
And possibly
grandson.
My grandson. My grandson is 2 years old.
Right.
And I figure when the mayor retires, the grandson will take over the mayoralty.
There you go. Now let's head over here. We've got a couple of different pieces that are available to us over here. Now, the Basenko piece, for instance, these are pieces that are originals that people can come in and purchase. And then you still have some prints as well that can be purchased as well if
we
people
have
want
bins
it as
with
well.
prints in.
Okay, so let's head back here. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the local artists that may have pictures here in the gallery. For instance, Kenneth Hildebrand.
This is Kenneth Hildebrand. He, by trade, he was an architect, or he is an architect, and he did some designing for Siloam Mission, and I've known him for quite a few years, and he's a wonderful man, and his stuff is perfection. The lines and everything.
Very clean.
And all of this stuff here is all freehand.
Wow.
You know, and look at how clean everything looks.
Ben's awesome.
Yeah,
He's one of my favorites.
yeah, yeah.
And he's such a great spirit. He's
Yes.
so gentle, and he's just so humble. But at the same time, he's so confident.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
He shows like true resilience and confidence just in being peaceful and calm, and that shows through his art.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Yeah, some definitely great pieces here. Manny Schultz.
Manny Schultz, another great artist. We've had a few shows with him in the last 5 or 6 years. In this piece in particular, if you come in and you look at it, there's actually a little rabbit hidden in there. You probably can't see it.
You know, okay, so
It's tiny.
let's say that. I'll say this. Listen, there's some great pieces here
Yeah.
at the gallery that
Yeah.
you definitely have to come down to the exchange and,
Yeah.
and take in. Once again, you know, we're talking about Renaissance and things, the things that are part of the Romantic era. And, you know,
Yeah.
we don't take the opportunity to really look around Winnipeg and say, hey, we're an art city.
Yeah.
There's so many great things to get out and check out. So really stumbling on this place is a gem. You need to come in here, great atmosphere, great music, great people.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell them how to find you? You have a website?
Well, the website isn't up right now,
Okay.
but
Tell them your address. Where can they find you in the exchange?
on 65 Albert Street is where we have our place.
Yeah.
You can park on the street. If you're coming in quickly, you can park in the loading zone for 15-20 minutes, pop in and check things out. There's a day every month on the first Friday. There's a day that all of the galleries are open later. So we usually get, on those days, we get between 75 and 100 people coming through. And they really enjoy talking with me because I know all of the artists that have been around forever. A lot of them have passed on already, but I can give them all the information on the artists.
Okay.
And they're so thankful. They're happy to talk to me, and I'm happy to talk to them and let them know exactly what's going on.
Oh, that's great. So a wealth of knowledge when they come down to see you.
Yeah.
Hence why you're the mayor of
Albert Street.
Albert Street. There you go. So your one-stop shop. Come down, fall in love, just like everybody else does with art. Step in here, meet Jeff, say hi. He's got a lot of products that you could pick from, look at, and even just come in and kick the tires and just
Yeah.
take it in
Yeah.
for some mental health and relief. So this is Vin Robinson signing off. Thank you, Jeff, for taking the time.
Right.
And we'll be right back
My
at
pleasure. Yeah,
you after this commercial break.
my pleasure. Thank you.